Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to look at translating algebraic expressions. It's very important that you understand what these expressions mean when you hear them verbally. So on your EOGs, they're going to be written out. And it's very important that you can perform the proper mathematical operations at the right time. Well, let's dive right into it and do some sample problems. Thank you. Class, let's see if we can translate some of these algebraic expressions. The first thing you want to do is really read the problem. Make sure you're reading it correctly. And you want to look for some key words, and while you're at it, break the highlighter out or the pencil and highlight or underline the key words. Like for example, this first phrase here, this first sentence, 8 more than the product of x and 10. There's some key words, product, okay, and more than, okay. So first of all, I want to hear more than, okay, 8 more than. I mean, that's 8 more than something, okay. So and I think we can all use, we have mastery of the English language enough to know that more than means we're adding it. It's in addition to. So we're going to be adding there. But here's a key word, product. Now product, when you hear product, you should think multiplication. And product specifically means the answer to a multiplication problem. So, and we know order of operations that multiplication is going to come before addition. So although we could put 8 first when we write it out algebraically, we're still going to do the multiplication first. But let's see here. We're going to say, let's focus on the product. Okay, the product of x and what? And 10. Now, due to the order of operations, we could stop right there and add 8 to it, because it says 8 more than the product of x and 10. But if we really wanted to make sure that we did this first, parentheses, it's kind of, might be a little overkill, but still, it's emphasizing that we need to do the multiplication first. Parentheses tells us, we want to find the answer to this multiplication problem. So it's 8 more than the product of x and 10, or x times 10. Let's change our colors here and go to the next one. Let's try green. Once again, let's read it first. It says 6 less than, okay, the quotient of 10 and the number z. Okay, now first of all it says, I see less than, okay, less than what? Okay, I think we all identify less with mean if it's less, I mean if something is hopeless, it's without hope. If something was useless, it's without use. Hope and use have been taken away, okay? So less means you're taking something away. And what are you taking away? It's 6 less, okay? A lot of us would like to just write down 6 right away, then put minus after it, but no, it's saying 6 less than something. Okay, so we need to say 6 less than what? Well, it says, answer the question, the quotient of 10 and the number z. Quotient, when you hear quotient, you've got to think division. More specifically, the quotient is the answer to a division problem. So let's find out, let's write that division problem down. The division problem is 10 divided by z. Okay, so that's the quotient. And what are we doing? It's 6 less than this. It's 6 less than the quotient of 10 and z. So I'm going to take 6 away. Okay, we're going to remove 6 from this. So we would write it like this. 10 divided by z, or we would say the quotient of 10 divided by z minus 6. So even though we say 6 less and start out, don't be fooled by that. Don't be fooled. You have to say 6 less than what? Than the quotient. You're not taking this away from 6. Be careful. Let's change our color again. Let's try blue. Oh, I already did blue. Let's do red. Okay, keywords. Well, first let's read it. Triple the sum of w and 13. Well, we have sum and we have triple. Okay, this is, got to think about this. Sum, when you hear sum, you want to think addition. More specifically, it's the answer to an addition problem. What are we adding? we're adding W and 13. It says the sum of W and 13. So let's put our parentheses here. W plus 13. Okay, now what are we supposed to do with the sum of this? It says triple it. Well, what does triple mean? It means multiply it by 3. So we put 3 times the sum of W and 13. Now see, it's not 3 times W. Okay, if we wrote it out like this, triple plus 13, that would be wrong because the order of operations would be 3 times W plus 13, but that's not what it says. It says triple the sum. So this is wrong. That's wrong. This is the right answer here. Let's take a look at our last one. Let's try black. Okay, it says half the difference of 5 and the number y. Okay, we have difference and we have half. There are key words. What is, when you hear difference, you're subtracting. More specifically, once again, it's the answer to a subtraction problem. And what are we subtracting? 5 and the number y. So we'll write it out like this. 5 minus y. And what does it say? It says half. Okay, what's half mean? Well, if you cut something in half, you're doing what? You're dividing it into 2 pieces. You're dividing it by 2. So, and what are we dividing in half? The difference, or the answer to this subtraction problem, 5 minus y. So we can write it like this. The difference of 5 and y divided by 2, or just the same thing as half the difference of 5 minus y. But some of us might want to write it out like this to kind of be true to that, the way it sounds, the fraction. Okay? Dividing by 2 is the same thing as over 2. So either one of these forms would be correct. Okay, well hopefully when we go through these word problems and we're translating them into algebraic expressions, we take the time to note the key words. Key words like the product, which means the answer to the multiplication problem, quotient, which is the answer to a division problem, sum, which is the difference to an addition problem, finally difference, the answer to a subtraction problem. And these other key things, if it says 8 more, you got to say 8 more than what? 6 less. This is on the test, or actually the quiz that you guys took last week. A lot of you are thrown off by this. You wanted to write out 6 minus something. No, it says it's 6 less. Okay? It's less 6. You're taking the 6 away. So less. A lot of people tripped up with that word. Be careful of that. Okay, well I think I spent enough time with this. I will see you in class tomorrow.